Hello, beautiful souls. I am recording this episode really in the moment. I have had a day at home. I can't say it's a day off because I did work a little bit. I had a few client calls earlier, but I am done working now and I am getting ready to host a girls' night and I'm super excited. We're going like cozy, witchy, dancey vibes and it's going to be amazing. I'll have how many? 5 women here. I'm super excited. Just like a gals' night sleepover situation. And I was reflecting as I was getting ready on what this means for me and what this experience is going to hold and how I'm going to grow from it. And maybe that sounds a little bit like deep for just a gals' night. But it really is a growth experience for me. And I want to explain a little bit further what exactly I mean by that. I have always really loved hosting people ever since I got my very first apartment when I was 18, which was, 13 years ago. I have always absolutely loved having people over whenever I can. I've loved providing and, making, whether it's meals or homemade snacks or providing drinks or making specialty cocktails. And this directly correlates to why I love hosting workshops and retreats for people so much and like creating these beautiful up-leveling experiences for people because I've always loved to do this. And like, why not, be able to tap people into their inner being at the same time as doing something that I love. However, I recently have realized that part of my skill and desire to host actually comes from conditioning and not 100% just because I love doing it for other people and creating these experiences for other people. I realized yesterday as I was texting the girls some details about like the evening, like my address and stuff like that, I realized, wait a second, I don't have to provide all of the snacks. I don't have to provide all of the drinks or what we're doing. This is my community. These are my people. Like I can ask them to show up with things and they will gladly. I'm just so used to telling people, no, I got it. No worries. Like, and then bending over backwards, no matter how many other things I have going on. I'm like, nope, I have to host. I'm hosting at my place. And so that means I have to provide literally everything. So as I was texting the girls yesterday, I had this realization of no, you don't. And I asked everyone to bring something to share. And that felt really weird. It felt hard. But I knew it was the right thing because I've had so much going on this week and I knew that I had more to do today and that I would really be stressing myself out trying to prepare everything. And that's not fair to me. Why would I do that to myself? I'm too self-aware and I don't want to do that to myself. And even though I texted that yesterday, even though everyone is really excited to make things and bring things and have something to share, like that's a beautiful thing, and I'm realizing so many things about this. So one thing I'm realizing as I'm talking right now is that by always being the one to completely provide and say, no, I got it, don't bring anything, it almost stops people from having the experience of being able to bring something to share. If I say, no, I'm cooking everything, I have everything, don't bring anything, maybe someone will show up with like a drink or, a little store-bought snack or something, but they might feel like it's overstepping to, for instance, make something to bring. But instead, because I opened up this door, a couple of the girls are literally making things to bring. A couple other girls have other ideas for things that they want to share. And I think that that's a really cool thing that we get to experience together. We get to co-create this experience. I don't have to create it. Another thing I was realizing is the parallel between my work, which is hosting events and retreats, workshops, master classes, like always having everything very planned and knowing exactly what I'm going to provide, making sure everyone has a great experience, getting feedback, blah, blah, blah. I love it. I really do. I love being able to create these experiences for people. And I today had this realization that my work life and what I do for work does not have to look the same as my friend life and what I do with my friends. And I think that like for me, those lines have kind of been blurred for a long time. And it's like a blessing and a curse because it's like I know that I'm really good at hosting. I know that I'm really good at creating these containers, these safe spaces for women specifically, but people of all genders. And I can create a safe space with my friends by simply being. I can create this container of excitement and joy and laughter and whatever it is that we want to create together and host in my space that I know is so cozy and the best energy vibes I don't really have to provide anything else. And neither does anyone else. We can all just show up and be in our energy, and that would be plenty. Maybe a couple snacks. So another thing that I was realizing as I was thinking about all of this, and I do apologize if this kind of feels like a ramble, but I hope that you're staying with me here. I had this realization back in like April that completely blew my mind. I literally can very vividly picture, I was on the ski slopes in Whistler, British Columbia, Canada. And I had gotten separated from my group of friends, and I had taken a little microdose of mushrooms, and I was just having a grand old time. And I had this realization as I was away from them that I have this really deeply ingrained, like really strong belief that no one ever wants to spend time with me just to spend time with me. Like they always want to be around me because they need something from me. And I had this realization because on the ski slope, and I promise this will all tie in, on the ski slope when I had gotten separated, eventually after like one run, my now fiance, Max, he called me and was like, hey, where are you? And then, he told me where he was, and we eventually met up. And as I was going to meet up with him at this other lift, I realized and observed this thought that I was having of, oh, I have the Camelback, so he's probably thirsty. He probably needs water. That's why he wants to know where I am. Not like, oh, I got separated from all of my friends, my 8 or 9 of us, other friends that are all skiing together. They want to be with me. No, it was like, what does he need from me? Like, that's why he is missing me. And I was like, girl, like literally I just looked inward and was like, oh my gosh. Like so much love and graciousness in my heart for you. Like, wow, that really is how we think, isn't it? Oh my goodness. And so that's a limiting belief that I've been working on a lot lately, is trying to just simply show up and let that be enough for the people around me. And at the same time, when I do have things to offer, not doing it because I feel like I have to, but doing it because I genuinely want to. And if it feels at all like a have to or stressful at all, I'm trying really hard to not do it because that does not serve anyone's highest good. So all of that to say that hosting this girls' night, I am working on a couple of these beliefs. I'm working on that limiting belief that people just want to hang out with me because I have something to offer. I'm not hosting like I usually would. I'm literally just being like, hey, show up, be here with me, let's hang out. And everyone else is providing things. I'm providing a couple of things, and we're all going to come together. And so I'm not even leaving space for this belief that people only want to be with me because they need something from me, because everyone's providing the same amount. I am providing no more than anyone else. And that feels really fucking good. And then coming back to the whole hosting thing and how I've always had this belief that I have to be the host. Like if you're hosting, you're hosting. Like you are hosting everything. You're providing everything. This doesn't necessarily, that specific belief does not come from my childhood. My parents were not necessarily the people who would host and be like, no, we got everything. Don't bring anything. Like they definitely would let people like bring things to functions and stuff like that. So that does not come from it. And I'm wondering if almost it's like the opposite. Like I watched other people's parents and friends provide and have these like beautiful experiences with friends. And I'm like, wow, I want that. What did come from childhood that I am allowing myself to heal from during this whole experience is this belief that I have to constantly be doing in order to gain love and respect. It's impossible to gain love and respect if you're not doing constantly, showing up and doing things for other people. That one is a very interesting one because objectively, I can zoom out and say, yep, that's a crazy belief. But it's still so deeply ingrained in me and I'm still fighting it. Even with my fiance, I'm still fighting. Like I constantly feel like I have to be doing something for him to love me, or else he's not going to love me, or else he's just going to one day wake up and realize, oh, what? You're not my soulmate. Like, what am I doing here? That's crazy. Like I've literally had this conversation with him and he's like, what? I know it sounds crazy. I know it's ridiculous. And it's still something really hard to combat. And so yesterday when I was creating this text message to send to all the girls and saying like, hey, everyone bring something, it was fucking hard. And even today, I keep having these thoughts. The reason that I'm recording this episode is because even today, as I'm like getting myself ready and like I had to do some laundry and I like had to finish up some work, in the back of my mind was, oh my God, I have to go to the store. I have to get more things. Like I have to get more snacks. Like what if people don't bring enough? Like I have to provide. And I'm like, no, girl, you fucking don't. You literally don't. Technically right now in my house, I have everything that we could need. Like we're not going to fucking starve. We're going to be fine. It is such an interesting concept of battling this, and I'm really proud of myself for creating an opportunity for me to grow in this experience. To say, thank you guys for showing up. And I literally cannot wait for all of these girls to get here for me to like explain this to them. Like, thank you for letting me heal in this way. I appreciate every single one of you so fucking much. Like, I cannot wait for that conversation. And another thing that I realized yesterday and earlier today is I don't have to explain myself to anyone. I don't have to explain, hey, everyone, I'm not really feeling up for, hosting all the things. Usually I'd make a beautiful spread. I'm really sorry I can't, like the apologies and this. I don't have to do that. I can simply say, hey, everyone bring something. That'd be awesome if we could all co-create this experience. We don't owe anyone an explanation. And if we want to, of course. And that's why I personally can't wait to explain this in person, because this is like the type of friends that I have where like everyone can celebrate that within each other when we are creating opportunities for growth and change within our being that is for our highest good. So I encourage you today and every day, when you become aware of limiting beliefs or of conditioned ways of thinking or behaviors, go out of your way to figure out a way to challenge that belief and that behavior. Go out of your way to think, how can I make this a little bit better? How can I give myself an opportunity to actually practice stepping outside of this? Because I guarantee you, life is going to throw some opportunities at you to do so. Like an example there is a conditioned response of my fiance is, and I am saying this very lovingly, I'm not calling anyone out. He has a history of being like a genuine people pleaser, like to the max. And his name is Max, which is really funny, but literally to the max people pleaser. Will bend over completely backwards no matter how much he does not want to do something to be there for someone or go do something that he doesn't want to do. Doesn't matter. And he's gotten a lot better at it. And the universe continues to throw opportunities his way of like being able to, for instance, like get out of things that he really doesn't want to go to, like events, for instance. And he's learned little by little how empowering, how exciting, how powerful it feels to say no, to step outside that comfort zone, to create opportunities for yourself to get better at this thing that you know is not for your highest good. And so that's a little example. Maybe you take that as an example if you're a people pleaser, but we all have different types of conditioned behaviors and responses and actions and things that we do and thoughts and beliefs. And I want you to do a little deep dive. The next time that you realize one of those things, zoom out objectively, recognize what it is, and then find a way to challenge it. Find a way to practice. And not just one time, but many times. You got to practice it over and over. You have to continue to reminding yourself you are worthy. You are worthy because you literally exist. You are smart. You are beautiful. You are capable. Whatever the belief is trying to tell you, find ways to challenge it. That's all I have. Short and sweet episode. Just really needed to record this in the moment. And now I'm going to go fold 2 loads of laundry that I've been putting off for a week. Anyway, until next time, keep shining, keep aligning, and we'll chat soon.